Hello, welcome back, friends, family, and fans, to Finance of Freddy's 2. We're gonna survive 5 more nights. Well, supposedly 5 more nights. We'll see how many we get out of this one. This one, as normal, I'm gonna try explaining these games to, as if it was new people watching it. So, sorry, veterans, if you're watching this, you're going, I already know that. I'm hoping that new people who haven't seen the franchise or know stuff about it will watch it, and that's so go over like the lore, what's going on in the game first, and explain it as it was presented to us, and then go over bits and pieces later that have been changed, and just some game mechanics. This this first bit's gonna be sped up just because I made the expert, well-calculated move of pressing escape to leave the camera because I don't know. Something in my mind was just like, oh, you gotta press escape. That's how you get out of the camera. That's never how it's been in any of the FNAF games. Any of the older FNAF games. We'll go over this later on when it becomes a little bit more important. Right there, nothing too much happened. And yeah, I pressed escape not once, but twice. Very professional me, I know. But I don't know, I left it in because I thought it'd be funny to show. So FNAF 2, what is it about? Alright, it is a prequel. It's presented like a sequel. It's called FNAF 2. They talk about the old location. They talk about old animatronics and how you're the new guard and everything. But from all the current evidence we know, and even back when this was released, it is a prequel. It takes place before the events of Five Nights at Freddy's 1, and all these are actual older animatronics. Now, what the Wizards are is, I guess, still something we kind of need to go over today, because I'm pretty sure Secret of the Mimic is changing stuff around. And even with, is it Logbook? One of the books messes with the lore again, as they always do. But yeah, while we're here, gameplay. Just like FNAF 1, looking through the cameras is not really useful or important. Seeing which animatronics left is at most useful thing you could probably get out of looking at cameras, but seeing where they are around the map, not that useful, because it gives you the audio clues. You go, oh, I can hear that someone's climbing around the vents, and you check the lights right next to your vents and see who's there. Just like with FNAF 1, if they're at your doors, you just check and then you can close the doors. You don't need to watch them walk down the hallway to know when to close the door. You just close it when they're there, because they actually wait. Alright, I'm gonna kind of tone it down, let Phone Guy explain and talk, that way you guys can hear the game.
But most importantly, they're all tied into some kind of criminal database so they can detect a predator a mile away. Heck, we should be paying them to guard you. Now that being said, no new system is without its kinks. You're only the second guard to work at that location. The first guy finished his week but complained about conditions. We switched him over to the day shift. So, hey, lucky you, right? Mainly he expressed concern that certain characters seem to move around at night and even attempted to get into his office. Now, from what we know, that should be impossible. That restaurant should be the safest place on Earth. So while our engineers don't really have an explanation for this, the working theory is that the robots were never given a proper night mode. So when it gets quiet, they think they're in the wrong room. So then they go try to find where the people are, and in this case, that's your office. So our temporary solution is this. There's a music box over by the prize counter, and it's rigged to be wound up remotely. So just every once in a while, switch over to the prize counter video feed and wind it up for a few seconds. It doesn't seem to affect all of the animatronics, but it does affect one of them. And as for the rest of them, we have an even easier solution. You see, there may be a minor glitch in the system, something about the robot seeing you as an endoskeleton without his costume on and wanting to stuff you into the suit. So hey, we've given you an empty Freddy Fazbear head. Problem solved. You can put it on any time and leave it on for as long as you want. Eventually anything that wandered in will wander back out. Something else worth mentioning is kind of the quirky modern design of the building. You may have noticed there are no doors for you to close. But hey, you have a light, and even though your flashlight can run out of power, the building cannot. So don't worry about the place going dark. Well, I think that's it. You should be golden. Check the lights, put on the Freddy head if you need to. Keep the music box wound up. Piece of cake. Have a good night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Alright, thank you, phone guy. I'll take it from here. So, like I said, not too much to go over here, lore-wise. First night's kind of... Second night, it's kind of simple. But the idea is, I'm an idiot. I saw night 1, but I read 2 a.m. and I thought it was night 2. Anyway, night 1, super easy, not too hard. You can get through this pretty easily. As I was saying earlier, it's really trying to present itself as a sequel, you know? The new modern building, no doors, everything in it's trying to say that this is a sequel to the old game, but as we know later, this is a prequel. We'll get into the evidence for that when it pops up. And here I am, I'm just checking the lights. Just kind of getting into the motion, you know. Nothing's there. I know nothing's there, but it's just it's fun. I don't know. It's just nice and simple. Just checking them. I feel like now is a good time while it's quiet. Oh, weird thing. I have this. I think it's an audio glitch. I don't know. This sound kept looping. I think for way longer than it was supposed to. I thought it was funny, but just a little strange to me. With the flashlight there, I don't think it happens yet, but whenever it sort of goes black when I try lighting up the hallway, it makes like a noise. That means something is moving in or out of it, so I can't use the hallway light at the moment. Freddy there, he's just chilling outside the hallway. That means he wants to attack. And as I say, you know, after you pull down your mask, after you pull down your camera, you need to put the mask up as fast as you can. That's going to be crucial for later nights. First 4, first 5, first 4, it's not going to be too big of a problem. But on the last 3 nights, you need to have that locked in, because this is I think, potentially the hardest of the Fnaf games. Obviously, besides Ultimate Custom Night, but I think a lot of the community kind of agrees that UCN's in its own little special place in difficulty scaling. So yeah, whenever Freddy gets to the end of the hallway, that means that he's going to attack you right after you do your cameras. I feel fairly confident saying that he'll just stay there the whole time if you don't use your cameras, but, you know, and the other animatronics might get you. Out of the toy animatronics, he's the only one that does attack down the hallway. I think maybe besides from Mangle. Mangle likes to run around, but we'll get to her later. Toy Bonnie's always coming from the right side. Chico always comes from the left this time around. Good to know. Because as a kid watching this, right, I never knew that there was a pattern. I didn't know that the animatronics always came down those hallways. It wasn't something that ever clicked in my mind. Then again, when I'm watching these, I was really young. I was not only young, obviously. It's a poor excuse, but you know, it's an explanation. I don't like to give excuses for a lot of things. I just like to try giving explanations more. But I was very media illiterate, I want to say, electronically illiterate. So I didn't really understand how these games worked and played. I just became addicted to them visually, like
Hello?
just watching the
Hello?
lore videos.
See, I
So
told you
again,
your
I'll go
first night
quiet here
wouldn't
and
be a
let Fun
problem. You're a
Guy
natural.
talk.
By now I'm sure you've noticed the older models sitting in the back room. Those are from the previous location, and we just use them for parts now. The idea at first was to repair them. They even started retrofitting them with some of the newer technology, but they were just so ugly, you know? And the smell. So the company decided to just go in a whole new direction and make them super kid friendly. Those older ones shouldn't be able to walk around, but if they do, the whole Freddy head trick should work on them too. So whatever. Uh, I love those old characters. Did you ever see Foxy the Pirate? Oh wait, Foxy. Oh yeah, Foxy. Hey listen, that one was always a bit twitchy. I'm not sure if the Freddy head trick will work on Foxy. If for some reason he activates during the night, and you see him standing at the far end of the hall, just flash your light at him from time to time. Those older models would always get disoriented with bright light. It would cause a system restart or something. Come to think of it, you might want to try that on any room where something undesirable might be. It might hold him in place for a few seconds. That glitch might have carried over to the newer models too. One more thing, don't forget the music box. I'll be honest, I never liked that puppet thing. It's always thinking, and it can go anywhere. I don't think the Freddy mask will fool it, so just don't forget the music box. Anyway, I'm sure it won't be a problem. Have a good night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Alright, thank you again there, Fun Guy. So, Puppet is always an animatronic that I feel like we overlooked it a lot in this one, because after watching, the FNAF 2 movie, it really makes, it kind of puts into perspective that, oh, maybe the toy animatronics weren't killing us because, they're possessed, like, or because they, as the in-game explanation said, the criminal database thing. That we just always kind of assume that, oh, ghosts are possessing them, or we're in some way a criminal. Which is not so. It is, most likely the puppet controlling them outside of the box. And yeah, listen. Yeah, I sit here stunned in silence for a little bit on that one. That got me. I am embarrassed for myself there. I lapse of judgment or thinking. I'm not sure. I just could not process what just happened because I had also I did look it up on how they actually attack because I had assumed it was that they need to be in your room to attack. I know that's is the case with some of the wizards, all the wizards besides Foxy, and Toy Freddy. I don't think Bonnie and Chica did that as toys though. Now, so that stumped me. I'm like, what just happened? Obviously, I know that she attacked me because I made the biggest possible error. That's equivalent to seeing Chica sitting outside your door in FNAF 1 going, oh, I can just pull up my laptop. Yeah. So anyway, small mistakes that we quickly iron out here. where we're getting a feel for the game. Because also, I'm pretty sure I said it last time in the previous FNAF 1 videos. These are my first time really playing these games. I mean, I've bought them and I tested them out, but I never really I moved too far past like night 1 and 2. I'm like, oh, okay, these are fun. And that was it. Because I was, there's other games that took up my time. I had the newer FNAF games. I love VR. I will spend all my time in the VR games if I had a choice. That would be cool. Um, yeah, just other multiplayer games with my friends and family, stuff like that. But playing through these games didn't seem too much of like a uh, need for me because I watched them already, and then I watched the lore video. It's like, okay, well, I know what's gonna happen. Yeah, no, that's a mistake. I should have played these. So anyway, you're kind of learning along with me. Fun guy. Obviously, he's not gonna join in here because he was here last try. But yeah, the way he talks about the puppet, I think we all should have like clued in a little bit harder. Puppet's different. Puppet's important. Now, with the withered animatronics, I'm not sure where we get them from. I'll have to look over what internet thinks and what the books say. But they're probably coming from like Fredbear's Diner, maybe like one of the an earlier Faz location, not, you know, the Freddy's Pizzeria. Because that's one thing we have to keep in mind, that these are not the first 4 animatronics. These guys are different. Even yeah, there's Mingle. Mingle. I think what was it? It was the VR game, or maybe the phone game. One of the I want to call them like the transitional games in a way. You know, like from Scott's core games to Steel Wolves. Those are kind of like a nice little transition zone. Those two. I think somewhere in there it said that they couldn't recreate Mangle attaching to the roof, which I think it's explained that that's straight up just paranormal magic, something like that, something or other, that made it so Mangle could walk on the roofs and walls. You know, like the VR team is like, oh, we have no idea how the stories say that she was walking around on the roof and stuff. Because if you look at it, yeah, there's not a way that Mangle would be able to attach the roof. The hands and feet are flat, like they don't really have any gripping surfaces. And yeah, you know, you look at Mangle and go, oh, it's a spider fox, so it obviously has multiple. No, it has like it has 2 hands. The other arms and limbs are stumped off, and then it's got the animatronic flat feet. Like, it's not able to actually attach itself to anything. So yeah, it's just willing itself up there for one reason or the other. Puppet magic Puppet being able to lift it up, attach things would make sense. If we're going with that. That little hello and hi guy down there, that is Balloon Boy. Once he can't kill you directly, but he gives off, like, that's him going into the vents, right? He gives off a few hellos and highs before he actually enters your office. Once he does, he takes away your ability to use your flashlight, which, that's why that's pretty bad. Because as you can see, Foxy down there, and as we heard from Phone Guy, the only way to get rid of him is with the flashlight. So there we go. Balloon Boy was gonna get in our office now, so I put the mask on so he can't get me. He's gone, and Foxy's gone, thankfully. Now, with Foxy, you just flash him a few times. It says somewhere like 2 or 3. I kind of just do a little bit more than that for insurance, let's say. You know, I'm not sure the right amount. I guess a little clear in gameplay here. I'm starting to stress out a little bit, which is silly and ridiculous. It's only night 2, but again, as I said, this is the game I know the least about. I have the least experience with this one. It's not my comfort zone FNAF game. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. There's just so much happening and going on that it's not as stressful as other FNAF games. It's not as I don't want to say engaging. I don't know. It puts me off. This is not my favorite FNAF game. Ultimate Custom Night's my least favorite. I have gripes with that one that I will get into later, whenever, you know, we get around to playing Ultimate Custom Night. FNAF 2... Oh, right. There's Mangle. Not really sure how to fight Mangle. I'm pretty sure, you know, just like with any other of the toys, see it in the event, put it on the mask. And it worked. But there's just a lot going on that just kind of overwhelms me to a state of I'm not enjoying this as much as the others. Because FNAF 2, it's pretty simple, it's pretty basic, right? You have your two doors, close them when something's there. Obviously there's a little bit more in-depth mechanics, you know, you gotta check cameras, you gotta make sure Freddy's not there, Foxy's where he belongs. But it's in a nice zone. And in this one, you have to worry about, I think it's 12 total animatronics. In the first game there's 5. We never saw the 5th one. In this one you have 4 toy animatronics. Chica, Bonnie, Freddy, and Mangle. Mangle's like a Foxy, but girl version. And then you have the Wizards of all those ones. Then you have, so that's 8. Then you have Puppet and Balloon Boy. Okay, so it's 10. But still, that's a lot more. That's a jump up. That's actually, there's 3 secret ones. 4 secret animatronics. Golden Freddy returns, but, you know, we might not see him because it's rare. Even rarer are the 2 Shadow ones. There's a Shadow Bonnie and a Shadow Freddy. And then there's another 4th animatronic, which is just an endoskeleton. But yeah, realistically, there's only 10 animatronics to worry about here, but they're just a lot. It's not as, I don't like it as much. Alright, so what is this? This is us, I believe, if I'm correct in the lore. We are the Ghost Kid. It's us looking around inside of Freddy. Not just any Freddy. FNAF 1. And it's an important distinction, I think, to make, because we see the Wizards, which are not the FNAF 1 animatronics, and we are playing as the Ghost Kid in these FNAF 1s. I think that's an important distinction there. So yeah, we'll get on to third night, but thank you for joining me again. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.